Hello everyone, Klaus here, and today guys I'm gonna review one of the last villains I have to review. Well, it's one of the last because there was still the one from the special edition set called Bulk and Vapor, but right now I'm gonna review more like a Titan-sized villain, and of course yesterday I reviewed Water, and of course today it's gonna be Von Nebula, the well, kind of the leader of the bad guys. So as you can see, the box is in a square shape. Of course, you have the Hero Factory right here, the H logo, which is in black because the black, as you can see, is one of the main colors of Nebula. Of course, his name is written right here, plus his little logo, which looks like some kind of blades or some water spines. Kind of looks nice. Edge condition, set number from the makers of Bionicle characters, and I think that's quite all. And of course, you got Von Nebula kind of destroying everything in his sight, at least in the background, because there is tons of stuff exploding around him. And that's quite all. So you can clearly distinguish the model, the set itself, because it's well, kind of a light background, which is in opposition with the dark aspect of this character. By the way, on the upper side, you've got a 1:1 scale of the Von Nebula's head. We're gonna start later on. And on the side, just the same pictures, but this time with no background. Von Nebula right in here, and well, nothing really interesting. This side also, and also this side, nothing really interesting at all. And of course, on the back side, you got a fight scene between Von Nebula against Preston Stormer and William Furno. Of course, you got his stats point. So you can see he's really dangerous, and he's really have tons of strength, and the same goes for his life, I guess. So Von Nebula right in here, then you just got the set numbers for the heroes, so you do not have their names. And then you got a really nice close-up shot of all the upper part of the upper body part of Von Nebula in a green, a nice looking effect. And then you've got some gimmicks, I can say so, for the Von Nebula's weapon. We get that really soon, because now I'm gonna talk about the instruction booklet, which is not really different from what you have seen earlier. So yes, the things to sort out your parts if you want, and you can build this big bad guy in, well, it's written 10 steps, but in fact there is just little steps, for example, which are not counted. So for example, what here is like a 4 step just for this little parts. The parts list right here, then the usual hat with Preston Stormer and the map of Makuhiro City. Then the fight scene on two pages, so Von Nebula fighting Stormer and Furno. Some other art for Hero Factory, which is really nice, and then another art, which is a new one, I think, with Water versus the Furno bike, which is one of the two good guys Titan set, or vehicle set. The Clone Wars ad, and I think that's all. And now for the set itself, so, well, right now it's kind of destroyed, but of course I will build this, the model as I am reviewing it, excuse me. But you can clearly see that first of all, the color scheme is really mainly black, in fact, plus some matte blue touch, but we're gonna see that later on. So how we made this bad guy, because of course it's a Titan, and Lego has really made not really famous, but well-made Titans in the past year, for example, Taken in 2008, or even in 2009 with Truman and stuff like that. So what's on with the Hero Factory's Titan set? So we're gonna set right now. So first of all, we're gonna use the usual Vaki waist type, so you can Vaki pelvis type right here. I don't think you can see it, but of course you gotta use the two versions for the legs. On this Vaki pelvis, we're gonna use another part. You can't really see that, but it's a little part which will add like 2 more pinholes, and these pinholes plus the pinholes of the Vaki waist will be useful to link the Makuta torso frame, which is right here, so you can easily recognize it with the big holes in there. Also a little more stuff for the waist part is all this little part. So this part will be useful to cover the body section, like that white just after that, I think. And then also notice this L-shaped part, which are useful to link this part. So, and also this parts on the back, which will be useful just to make the legs stronger, so there is no problem of not really possibility, but no problem of falling off, Titan falling off because of his weight. So it's the same as second universe version, but as you can clearly see, this Titan is really well, is smaller than Taken River, of course. It's really smaller. So I think that's quite all for these legs. And now, yeah, for the body part. So I'm gonna first of all maybe yes, explain how this part works. In fact, because you can see we have the molecular body frame right here, and then we have an axle which is linked to a gray part, and this gray part is linked to this technique beam. This technique beam will be useful first of all to link the head, which is linked right here. So this means we're gonna use X. Okay, this mask is really yes, I think I made a mistake. Yes, excuse me. So you got your Ardica neck right here, plus a Glatterian head in this way, so this means the hose in this way. Then two Montex claws in black, which are I don't think they are quite new. Maybe they were released before in Exoforce set. I don't remember, but it's still nice to have this type of parts. And then there is no new mod for the head this time, in opposition to all the other Hero Factory set. In fact, apart from Vapor again and some other set in the vehicle sets, because this time we're gonna use the recolor of the Hydroxon mask. So that's still nice because I have to say that the mask in Bionicle from 2004 to 2010, in fact, really there aren't really any big recolors of this type of mask released between this year. So it's still nice to have a recolor of a 2007 mask, which is still look pretty nice, I have to say. So a new recolor exclusive to this set of an Hydroxon mask. So no new mold, excuse me. Or I'm gonna just put this like this and then cover this all I have said earlier with these little pins right here with this Piraka foot. Like this. Of course, we got some holes on the side, I have to say, so that's quite a problem. And we're gonna put the head in this way. And finally, as you can see, there is still a bit of axle, which is right here. We're gonna link this part. Oh, excuse me, which is in fact three axle parts linked to two Baroque. I think yes, it's called Baroque wine screen in the P1 inventory, but well, it's just some Baroque heads in black, which were also released before in black in the Exotora, so that's in 2002, so that's really a long time ago. But it's still nice to have two of this for those who don't own the Exotora set. It's still nice to have these parts in black, which are quite curved and quite useful for the mocks. And you can specifically see the curved shape of this part right here, which will look pretty nice, I have to say. I have to admit. And then of course you got the arms. So the arms, there is two connectors. So one of course on this ball joint, and the other one again to make the articulation more like stronger. Yes, so articulation stronger. So we're gonna just use some, in fact, some slicer arm parts right here, which are linked to other connectors. But we're gonna set later on the articulation section of this review. So you got like two connectors. We're gonna link these two connectors to this curved shape part right here, which will be linked to a Glatterian neck. This Glatterian neck will allow to have a ball joint, which will be used to link the hands, and the hands are in fact Piraka cloud feet. And you can see they are not like, for example, the Vezon one or the Wedak one, because these two ones got like little fade of silver or gold, and this time it's all black, so it's kind of a new color and also exclusive to this set. And then we're gonna ask you, because you see it's quite of empty, we're gonna have to link two new mold parts, which were released before in Explode. I mean this part, with all with the spines and like one axle right here and one axle all on this point. And well, this time as you can see it's mainly black plus some blue matter fade, which doesn't really look, well, it's mainly black because the blue matter fade are already on the top of spines. So we're gonna link this on the long axle right here. The same goes for the second arm, which is in fact quite the same, except that this time on this left arm we're gonna have the Von Nebula's weapons, if I can say so, which is this one, in fact kind of a little spear with a tree. So of course this part was before Nuki, but not in this new silver color, which is more like a darker silver than what we have, that we got in the past years. And then the real recolor of this set is the True Like Spawn, which was released before, of course, in Trans Owen in the Macula set, but this time it's kind of black with some, not really blue fade, but it's just a mix between black and blue matter, and it's looking, of course, pretty awesome, I have to say. It's looking really pretty nice. And we're going to link this thanks to this little gray part you can see here, so in the connector, and here we go. It's linked. And now for the legs. So how it works, again, well, you have this part to make the articulation stronger, but then you have a connector, of course, on the backy pelvis part. This connector will be linked to different little parts like this. We have already seen before the arms, and also some slicer lift arm, which is really on all parts. Then also notice this true leg, which is quite well useful to cover, of course, the upper section. But the most interesting part of the legs, in fact, are the fact that this part, which is normally on the other side, on the back side, which is just used for suspension. Of course, it is in a new silver color. This part, which is usually on the back, this time is put on the front, and then the leg itself, which is waxy leg, is put on the back. So it's quite ingenious and well found, I think. And this means putting the ball joint in a 90 degrees part, as you can see, because not the ball joint, excuse me, but the connector was here, and there you got the 90 degrees other connectors to link to this leg parts. Also notice this little part right here, which is in fact useful to link this part and just cover the suspension piece. Like this. And finally, the foot itself is also interesting because it's just some older foot. So for those who don't really own anyway, it can be cool. And just some little parts, and of course then to link this to a connector to link these waxy legs. And that's quite all for the building of this set, guys. And so now I'm going to do the turnaround of this set. Excuse me, kind of take some time. And now for the articulation section, so we're gonna get back to the legs right now. In fact, so the legs can turn up to this point, can't really much because of this part, and can put up, well, they're just put in this two ways, so that's quite not really awesome, I have to say, but well, it still works and it's still kind of some natural pose, so no problem with that. Then you have, of course, this knee articulation, I have to say, so you can put this up to this way. Yes, this part is useful because it can be put higher like this, and you can do some pose like this. It's looking pretty nice with this part moving when you move the legs. So you can, yes, do stuff like this, for example. So I think it's okay. So it's pretty well articulated for this part. It's more like 90 degrees, and it's look pretty well done and pretty ingenious because of this part put in the front section, I have to say. For example, you can do some pose like this. Then you have the head. So of course, there is a rotation point right here. So if you don't like the hunchback type of character, you can try to put the head in this way, which kind of, well, it's depends. My friend thinks it looks better in kind of this way, but I really like the original way better, I think. So you can turn this on this side and make it look down or a little up. So no real big problem with the head articulation, I have to say. And then of course we have the infamous arms, because on this point there is no really big problem. You can turn this up to this point or down to this point. You can really do some pose, even, yes, you can even try to make some, yes, more like this. You can really do this type of pose, so it's quite worked well on this shoulder part. But then it is a Titan set, but it's in fact kind of like a new Hero Factory Villain Canister set. There is just 2 points of articulation, and really on a Titan, that's really a big shame, I have to say. Plus, so this means you just have a ball joint right here, and of course you can hit block at this point, and well, you can try to turn this in different type of ways. So of course you can make kind of nice pose like this, but it's just like 2 points of articulation, I have to say. And well, I think this guy is quite like a poser. This means I think you can just pose him in like a 2 or 3 or 4 nice pose, and then it's kind of limited, excuse me. Yeah, really nice pose. And I think I'm gonna keep this pose to make a little sum up of this set. So what's to like and not to like about this set? So first of all, the drawback of this set. So as I've just mentioned, the fact that this is a Titan set and there is just 2 points of articulation on the arms. So of course, well, the arms are well proportionate because, as you can see, it goes well, it's switched the right way in terms of human proportion, but it's still weird and really not really interesting to pay some higher price to just got 2 pots of articulations, I have to say. But one of the main problems, in fact, are the little details which are really looking bad. For example, all the axle which just are not covered. In fact, for example, here you have an axle which is not covered. Here is the same. Here is the same on the back. The same goes right here. The same goes also for this spear. So maybe that was stuff which was intended in the first place. So the designers think like they had to make the axle just go out this way, but it's kind of way look like just look ugly. I have to say, seriously, just look. It have done by a kid and which just didn't really have the right proportion for his axles, and just put some axle of 5 instead of 4 because it didn't have the axle of 4 for his mark. So it's quite not really good, I have to say. We have also the point of the color scheme, because you can see it's many black, so it's quite unusual for Lego because most of the time they use mixed colors together, and this time it's just black and then some little touch of blue like here, and then on the spines and maybe on this little parts, and apart from this, that's all. So it's quite it's quite look weird, and I think some people might not like it. Personally, I have no real big problem because, well, it's all black, so it's really like the big bad villain set, kind of a really stereotypical villain set with all black and kind of like a hunchback and stuff like this. So I think it's look pretty well. So even if there is not that tons of blue color, well, I think it's really up your mind. It's your opinion and your taste. And also there is some holes in the design like this, some flaws of design, and so I think that's all. The articulation are quite well, and also one of the problems, which I think is not really a problem, but one of the contradictions of this set is that they put some stronger articulation like this and there, and I mean these articulation are meant for like real Titan, like Takanuva, like Tomatanui, which were really tall and stuff like that, and heavy, and I just think that this is just wrong to put some like stronger articulation on this guy, and he didn't really need this articulation because I mean the arms are not heavy, they are just 2 articulations, so without this part, I think there is no need for this articulation except for the overall design elements. Oh, and yeah, now for the good points. So the good points are of course the overall design, which is pretty well made. I have to say, because you have really kind of tons of shape, not really tons, but you have some shape reminders in there. So this means you have like all the curved shape, like here, like there for the spines. The same goes for his mask. We really have a curved shape. The legs are really looking great, I have to say, with this new type of design, which is really interesting and well thought, I think, with these little parts which move with the legs. So the legs are pretty well done. The same goes with the little curves all over the model. And also in terms of part selection for all the markers, I think it's quite interesting because you have some weird colors like this part, and they're pretty okay, I think. If you want black, of course, if you want black parts, this set will be pretty useful for markers around here. And I think that's all, guys, for the good points and bad points. So do I recommend this set? So I have to say that in France, I don't think it's the same case in the US or in England, but in France this set cost have a nighter price, cost more than water. So this means, for example, water is like at 20 euros, so more like 20 US dollars, and this set is like 26 euros. So I don't really think in the US there is this difference in price, but if there is not this difference in price and this set is at 20 USD or stuff like this in your country, I think you can grab him, because even if there is seriously problem of articulation, I really mean the 2 point of articulation for a Titan set is really a shame. Seriously, it's really a shame, because I think Lego has really made tons of progress and evolution, like from 2004 to 2009 in terms of Titan sets. Seriously, just compare the first Quaker to Tuma set. It's really the difference between these 3 guys in terms of articulation is really amazing. and I think they kind of do a step back with this set, because I mean just 2 points of articulation, that's really a problem for me at least. Even if you have seen, he has pretty well articulated legs. So my final thought on this guy is, if you found this at $20, I think that might be a good set. So see, it's really up to you, because there is some drawback on this set, like the axle, like the articulation, like this stuff, and other stuff like this. But at the end, it's still a well done Titans, and I think in terms of design, it's pretty well made, and it's really interesting to have these Titans in comparison to the Hero set and stuff like that. So seriously, even if you have drawbacks, you still have these good points, and those good points might change your minds, I think. And that's all, guys. So hope you enjoyed this review, and also this set. Of course, if you have questions I have not answered about this set, feel free to ask them. I will happily answer them. And I think that's all. So hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you enjoy the set, and see you later for another Hero Factory video review. Bye.